56 divided by 8 is 7. But 7 only represents how much 1/8 is. 1/8 is 7. So if I have to have 3/8, I'm going to say 7 times 3, which is 21. And then a fourth of the starburst are strawberry. So 56 divided by 4. I didn't think this out. Let me do it over here on my scratch paper real quick. Let's see. 4, 16, 14. So a fourth, when I split 56 into 4 groups, is 14. So 1/4 equals 14. And the reason I don't have to multiply or do anything with that 14 is because it only said 1/4. And up here it said 3/8, so I had to do that 8 3 times. The rest are lemon. So now I need to take 21 plus 14, which is going to be 35. That's how many we have that we know are orange and strawberry. If the rest are lemon, then we're going to have to say 56 minus 35, which is 21. So 21 lemon flavored. Okay? Now, Billy's house. Y'all, we did this exact problem in class, so we should know how to do this one. It tells us that his house is 2 1/5 miles away from his work is 2 1/5 miles away from his house, and his car broke down 3/5 of a mile from work. So he's 3/5 of a mile away from work. So you can see right here, I marked 2 1/5, and then on my number line, in between 1 and 2, I split it into fifths. I'm sorry they're not equally split, but that's just how they ended up tonight. So here's a fifth, here's a fifth, here's a fifth. So I've got right here 1 and 1/5, 1 and 2/5, and where I ended up was 1 and 3/5. So that is where he's at, 1 and 3/5 miles from his house. All right, put these numbers on the number line. Well, the first thing you should notice is that your number line goes -1 to 2. So we need to put on our number line 0 and 1. Always fill in those whole numbers and don't forget about 0. When I look at these fractions, the first one that jumps out at me is 4/8, because I know that 4/8 is equal to 1/2, and 1/2 goes right here in between 0 and 1. But remember what I told you. Use the fraction that is given, because that's what or whoever's grading your test would be looking for. So 4/8 right there. And I also know, we said this a while ago, that an 1/8 is half of a 4th. So if I take this, which is the same thing, I'll write it up here, as a half. If I split that in half, now I have 4ths. If I split this 4th in half, now I have 8ths. So there's an 8. There's no sense in drawing out all of these 8s unless you just want to, because I don't need them all. So I've done that one. 4/3, I know, is an improper fraction. I can change it. 3/3 is a whole, and I'm left with 1/3, so 3 1/3. So here's in between 1 and 2. If I have 1 whole, of course it's going to be more than 1. So I'm going to split this part in thirds. 1 and 1/3, and write 4/3. And then 10/6 is also improper. 6/6 is a whole, and then you're left with 4/6. You should know that both of these are even, so you could divide both of them by 2/2, which would get you 1 and 2/3. And I already have thirds right here, so 10/6 would go right there. Okay, number 11. Which fraction is greater, 5/6 or 9/10? Okay, so we know that 5/6 is 1/6 away from a whole, and 9/10 is 1/10 away from a whole. So tenths are going to be smaller pieces. That means 9/10 is missing the smaller piece. If you think about your model, if this were split into tenths, you're going to have a little bitty tenth here. But if you had something split into 6 and it's missing a 6, it's going to be bigger than that tenth, right? So that means this is the bigger fraction because you've got a bigger portion there. Okay, circle 3/4 of the circles. So there's a couple ways you could do this. You could look at this and say, well, I've got 8 circles. That means you need to take 3/4 and you could turn it into 8ths. And the way that you would do that is by saying 2/2, because 4 times 2 is 8. So 3 times 2 is 6. That means you're going to circle 6 circles. Or you could also look at these circles and notice that you've got 4 on the top and 4 on the bottom. So if you circle 3/4 of the top and 3/4 of the bottom, you've circled 3/4 and 3/4.